What's going on, guys? Today I want to go over a couple strategies I have for facing off with Tiamat in Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. The first strategy is going to be using the Dragoon, which is going to be mostly for the mid game, and then lastly we'll be using the Sage for the late and end game. So let's hop right into some of the first things you need as far as the basics for the Dragoon, and that's going to be your equipment. Now, normally you'd be optimizing equipment. Here we don't want to do that because we want to focus on the job affinity. Tiamat has 6 heads, each of which are a weakness. And if we get the affinity to 120%, we get target weakness bonus 2, which is going to give us an additional 9.8% damage. Next, let's go over the attacks. So Tiamat has a lot of moves in her arsenal. Some long combos, as you can see there, with like 5 different portions, 5 or 6 different moves. These in particular, where she jumps forward and then does some lunges, she'll sometimes go into these purple moves like Tempest, Poison Cloud, and Thunderbolt. When she does that, she will lower her heads down, which is a prime opportunity for you to use the jump attack to get between 4,000 and 6,000 points of damage on her. Things I typically try to avoid are the breath attack and whirlwind. Now I know some people are pretty good at using Soul Shield to gain mana, but I'm not, so I just don't. Next we have Wind Burst and Try Disaster. These are attacks that she will only use during the second portion of the fight. Specifically with Try Disaster, it can be either a disaster or one of your best openings to use jump. Now that we've gone over the basics for the Dragoon fight, let's just get right into it, and this will be the gameplay of the run where I beat Tiamat for the first time as a Dragoon on hard difficulty. I encourage you to watch all the way to the end, especially if it's your first time trying to beat Tiamat as well and you're like me, you didn't want to turn the difficulty down even though it doesn't keep you from getting the platinum. But if you're playing on hard and you just want to actually do a full hard playthrough and this is something you get stuck, just watch all the way through. Maybe you'll pick up on a few things that I haven't mentioned. I did try to go over and at least showcase all of the attacks at least once. I'm going to go ahead and leave timestamps so that you can go back and watch certain things over if you need to, or if you want to just skip ahead to the Sage run for the late to end game, I'm going to leave timestamps for that as well. I just mainly think that Dragoon is going to be easier for your first time beating Tiamat because it is only an advanced class, whereas it's much more difficult to unlock the Sage class. But as you'll see here in a few minutes, once you do unlock the Sage class, it is a much easier time fighting Tiamat. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this play, and I'll catch you guys at the start of the second phase. Alright guys, this is it. We've made it to the second phase, and in addition to that wind burst and the tri-disaster, there is one other catch to this part of the fight, and that is Tiamat gets a move called Regenerate, which is going to heal her for 99,999 HP for each one of its 6 heads, making it virtually impossible to kill her outright. There she goes using the move. So what we're going to focus on instead is the yellow bar just beneath her HP bar. As you can see, as we do damage to it, specifically to the heads and the weak points, that red bar will start to gradually fill up. Her stagger meter cannot go into the red bar, so it's basically reducing the max stagger that she has. We're going to use the jump attack to bring it all the way down to where we can stagger her and then finish the fight. Tiamat is actually about to use the tri-disaster beam on me, and I want you to watch what I do here. Did you see that? I used the soul shield as soon as it hits me, and it's actually not a true beam. It's more like a machine gun fire with repeated bullets coming at you. So there's ticks of damage, and if you block the first one, you have enough time to actually dodge out before the second tick of damage gets to you, allowing you to safely regenerate a little bit of MP while at the same time setting you up for one of the best opportunities in the second phase to deal damage to her stagger bar. That time I was a little bit slow on the dodge, but I'm still going to be able to get in there in plenty of time to get that damage, which is what we really want for this phase. That should just about cover it for this phase. As you can see, I still have 5 health potions at this point in the fight. I'm playing super conservative. It's not necessarily about getting her down quick for me, and it is about a game of attrition, because you can't actually take down her HP. It's just a game of attrition. You want to make sure that you stay as strong as possible throughout this fight. Be patient, don't rush in, and if you follow this advice and jump on her head every time she puts her heads down, you'll be just fine. So I'm going to see you guys at the end of this fight, and we'll go over what I do for later in the game when we have the Sage class. And again, I do encourage you to watch all the way to the end of this fight in case there's something you might be able to pick up on that I don't specifically talk about to help you out in your fight. But I am going to leave timestamps in the description in case you do have the Sage class unlocked and really just want to see how I defeat Tiamat with the Sage class.
Take much more. Ash is in rough shape. Ash, show me what you can do. Now watch you learn a couple things.
There you have it. We did it. It wasn't the shortest boss fight in the game. In fact, it's probably one of the longer ones because of the fact that it is a fight of attrition. But we were able to safely get it done. So let's get straight into the Sage run through of this now, which is going to be a much quicker second phase of the fight. I'm going to basically be sticking to the black magic. I want to get my sigil count up and keep it up so that I can get stuff off pretty rapidly. So let's just go ahead and watch this a little bit, and I'll jump back in when I see something of note to comment on.
Not off to a good start. Don't worry, we got this.
Wow, yeah, as you can see, her HP is already going down much faster than with the Dragoon class. I still have the Dragoon class, as you can see in the background. I've got it leveled up quite a bit as well at this point. I was originally going to go into the fight using that, but I said, you know what, let's try this Sage class now that we have it unlocked as well. And I'm definitely glad I did, because it just allows me to give you more options for when you're formulating your strategy to take Tiamat down. One thing you're going to notice about this point in the match, my MP is getting rather low. So MP, keeping it up is going to be a bigger deal. When you're with the Dragoon, you take your jumps when you can get them. When you're playing as the Sage, there's a lot more openings to get that damage in. But basically, as long as you're using your soul shield, you kind of have a good idea of the attacks that I've shown you in the beginning, towards the beginning of the video in the attack section. If you kind of study those that I highlighted there, you're going to be doing just fine as far as keeping your mana up. Looky there, we already got her into the second phase while I was talking. And so this next part of the fight is really going to be, I was just blown away by how much easier the Sage class makes it. But again, it's going to be kind of difficult to get that for the first time that you fight it. We're going to be using Thundaga. Now, I don't know if you've seen the amount of damage that was doing, but if you take a look at her heads, she's down to one head. That Thundaga took out all 5 of them, of the heads that can be busted. I guess you can't lose all 6 of them, but you can take her down to just one, and it's doing that repeatedly, consistently, every single time. So I'm just, at this point, I'm like, wow, I'm noticing it is doing that much damage. So I'm popping her heads, waiting for her to regenerate, and then taking another shot at her as soon as I get an opening. And we're just going to rinse and repeat for this second phase. And hold on a second, I'm just now noticing my HP bar is still full, and I haven't used any potions, and I haven't switched over to the White Mage class at all. So I'm wondering, like, have I done this whole fight so far without taking damage? Can I make it all the way to the end? Is this going to be an actual no damage run on hard mode with Tiamat with the Sage build? I'm still running a little bit low on mana here, but she's really just not giving me a lot of opportunities to get it at the moment. When she does give it to me, when she does do an attack like there, I mean, I get pretty much a full bar. So I'm not too worried about that, but that does build a case if you're good at blocking the whirlwinds. That will give you more opportunities. It's just one more move. You see, I don't go in and take that opportunity just then, but that would have filled my mana bar all the way up. So yeah, I mean, I'm playing pretty conservative still on this because I don't want to lose, but I may not even take any damage for this fight. I mean, it is just it's a fight of attrition. You know, you got to be patient. You can't rush in. Oh, look at that. I did do the soul shield, and it didn't give me just a whole lot of mana. I really think the risk isn't worth the reward, but there we have it. We finished the fight. No damage, hard mode, Sage class. Got to my level 30. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.